Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to Non-Woke Month on my channel. And this time we're talking about a Disney movie that came out in 2007, I believe, starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Yes, this is one of his early kids' films that he did before Moana and all the Jumanji movies, which are more, they're not kids' films, but they're close enough. And that is Disney's The Game Plan. Yes, this is the DVD version. I still have it because even though it's on Disney Plus, I like to have my physical copies of a movie in case the internet's down. This movie's a lot of fun. I saw this movie a long time ago, a couple years, not in 2007, like a couple years ago. I saw it on like cable, and it's very funny. I think it's very cute. The relationship between The Rock and his daughter, Madison Pettis, who is adorable in this movie, by the way. She's very hot now because, back then she was a little girl. This is like right after Cory in the House was about to be canceled, and she's just very, very charming and very cute. The film is a family comedy directed by Andy Fickman. I know I've heard that voice before, that name. It had four writers, personal life, no, not personal life, filmography. Andy Fickman directed Who's Your Daddy, which I've never seen. She's the Man. I thought that was okay. Race to Witch Mountain, that remake, a reboot with The Rock and Alexander Ludwig and Anna Sophia Robb. That was pretty good too. I liked it. You Again, I haven't seen. Parental Guidance, I like. Sue Me, I did like Paul Blart Mall Cop too. I know it's not as good as the first one, but I had its moments. Playing with Fire, I haven't seen, and I heard horrible things, so I'm avoiding that. This is a cute little film. It's definitely a good Father's Day movie if you're a father or a father figure. It stars The Rock as a professional quarterback football player for like a fake NFL team because they didn't have a real name for him, and he finds out that he has an 8-year-old daughter from a previous relationship. And even though this is a PG movie, it is there are some things for adults, like him like going to clubs and leaving his daughter there and him drinking or whatever. But this is back in 2007. This is before the writer's strike, and this came out in September. So this is the perfect movie to review today. Two black leads, The Rock and Madison Pettis, and it's a lot of charm. It's very funny. Like there's a scene where he's allergic to, I think, peanuts or something, and then or cinnamon, and then he does a commercial. And it's like it's silly, but it's good to see The Rock not taking himself so seriously. This is a lot better than The Tooth Fairy because that movie was garbage. The Rock was the only one trying, but the material that he was just working with was just horrible. This is a way funnier movie, and it's got a really good cast. You have The Rock as Joe Kingman as the football player. You have Madison Pettis as Peyton Kelly Kingman, aka, you have Kyra Sedgwick. She's a good TV actress. Morris Chestnut, you've seen him in a lot of films. He's a very black actor, that you've seen in TV shows and movies. Paige Turco's in this movie. Yeah, this is the first time I'd seen her after Ninja Turtles 3. And she still is a very attractive, good actress. You have a couple of other people too. The only actor I don't like in this movie is Rosalind Sanchez as Monique Vasquez. She's not needed in the movie. They try to force her onto The Rock, not that much, but it's kind of like his relationship with Ashley Judd in The Tooth Fairy, where you have this older woman, that they throw in The Rock's feet, and it's not earned. The relationship, I don't buy it. He has no chemistry with Rosalind Sanchez. It didn't work. She's a dance teacher for Madison Pettis, but I just don't care about her. She could easily be cut out, and it would make the movie. The movie is a little bit long for a kids' film. It's 110 minutes. If you took Rosalind Sanchez out of this movie, it'd be 90 minutes. You don't need the extra 20 minutes with her. I don't care about her. I didn't like her in Rush Hour 2. When I review that, I'm going to say the same thing. She has a nice ass. Wow. So do a lot of other women, guys. It's not just about looks. I don't like her accent. I don't like her as an actress. Just saying. And she's one of me. And I still don't care. But The Rock is really funny in the movie. He showed he had comedic chops and dramatic chops, and he can sing, and he can be charming, and he could be a good dad, which he is. And by the way, get well soon, Rock. I know you got COVID. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're recovering because I want to see you in more films. But the movie is a lot of fun. If you cut out the 20 minutes, like 20 minutes could have been cut from this movie. I know it's a sports movie, like Angels in the Outfield or Remember the Titans, but you don't need to put padding in a Disney movie. Pirates of the Caribbean already did that in abundance in all the movies, except for like 5 because 5 was the shortest. But you don't need 30. You don't need subplots with other characters that we don't care about. Kyra Sedgwick was fine. She's part of the plot. She's not a love interest thrown for the rock. She's there to serve a purpose. And let me read the synopsis. In this hilarious and heartwarming family comedy, one of the sport's toughest players ever takes on his biggest challenge yet: fatherhood. A superstar with an ego bigger than a football field, kind of like in Tooth Fairy, but he's not as much of an asshole there. He does make mistakes, but he's not as much of an asshole. In Tooth Fairy, I couldn't stand The Rock as that goalie or whatever in the hockey game. Yeah, it was terrible. Joe Kingman is getting ready for a run at the big championship when his 7-year-old daughter he never knew existed shows up at his not so family friendly bachelor pad. Yeah, he has a nice condo. It's really, really expensive. Like The Rock, the people that did the sets in this movie really did a good job. As the big game gets closer, he begins to realize the most meaningful win he can achieve is the heart of the little fan who counts him the most. Yes, it's a family movie. This is what worked about Shazam and not Birds of Prey, guys. The family aspect. You buy the people together. You have that bond. They have chemistry with each other. They feel like they belong together, whether they're blood relatives or not. Riddle me this, Batman. I know this is off topic, but what was in Birds of Prey that you found inspiring besides Harley Quinn? Huntress and Black Canary, they treat her like she's they treat her like background characters. They're not treated as equals. In this movie, you have a little girl and her father, and they have to bond. They do have their issues with each other, but they work because the chemistry is there, and you feel the love at the end when they're hugging when he wins the championship. It's a great feeling because he gets to celebrate it with his family, not just by himself or with his teammates. That's what it's all about, guys. Family. That's what Disney has always been about. Whether it's live action or cartoons, family is a very important thing. It comes first above all other people in this world. Trust me, I know. Even though I have a lot of issues at home with my family, but I'm not going to get there. I'm not going there. Anyway, if you've never seen this movie, it's on Disney Plus, so you can watch it. It's very funny. It's a PG movie, so there's no curse words. There's some thematic elements. The Rock is in a club, not a strip club, but a club, and his daughter's there, and and he's like, yeah. And he's kind of irresponsible at first, but then he learns his lesson and becomes a good dad and knows that his daughter comes first and before his career. And The Rock just has these facial expressions that just crack me up. Like, there's a scene where there's bubbles all over the place, and he starts smiling, and then he just goes like this, and I'm like, wow. Just he still has that intense look in his eyes, just like he did in wrestling, and I miss him. And the critics were kind of harsh on this. Anyway. Yeah, because they gave it like a 20-some% on Rotten Tomatoes. They're idiots. The consensus is, despite The Rock's abundant charisma and the little girl, by the way, the game plan is just another run-of-the-mill Disney comedy. But it made me laugh. It made my dad laugh, and my dad hardly laughs at anything now. But the audiences liked it. They gave it an A on Cinema Score. I don't really care what critics think because, like I said, guys, I'm not a critic. I review things and I don't get paid. I never had monetization on my channel, my old channel or this one. I never had it because I don't have 1,000 subscribers, and I don't do this for money or for views or for the subscribers. If you subscribe, that's fine, but I do it to entertain you guys. After a year of bullshit with the freaking COVID and all this stress and all the racism and all these fires and all these disasters all over the world, yeah, it's good to have something to keep the mood light. And that's what I'm doing, reviewing this Disney movie that's actually good. It's not Artemis Fowl, where the kid treats his own father, like shit. Or freaking the Mulan remake, which just came out, and the family aspect isn't there like the animated version. Sorry, you got to have the family aspect or it doesn't work. Wait, this movie has a commentary? It says here, special features include the deleted scenes, bloopers, and audio commentary. Deleted scenes, bloopers, ESPN. Yeah, I'm going to have to see this movie again, because if it has a commentary, I want to hear it, because this movie's funny. Like, I haven't seen it in like a year or two. And other than Rosalind Sanchez, you get her out of the movie, it would not make a difference to me. The movie doesn't need a love story. The love story is a father and daughter love, a bond that's unbreakable. That's the only love you need in the movie. And of course, his teammates that care about him, they want him to play well and, to make the team win. That's what it's all about, guys. Now, the writers, I said it. There's I think a little. There's three. There's two writers. Well, for the screenplay and three for the story. They did a good job, but like I said, you don't need Rosalind Sanchez. You could cut her out of the freaking movie. Don't put characters that don't need to be there. So what I'm going to say when I review Black Widow, hopefully in 2 months, you don't need Pugface. You don't need Rachel Weisz. They're going to be in the film for the beginning and then probably die at the end. But I'm not going to spoil it when I review that. But I'm going to, because my channel continues. This is my continuation of what the work that I've put my blood and sweat into over the past 7.5 years. But if you, anyway, on a lighter note, this is a good movie. This is a good Disney live action movie. And it's not a remake. And it's not a freaking prequel. And it's not a shitty adaptation of a book. Just saying, guys, you can do it right. This movie did. This is not based on a book. It's a very funny comedy. Have we seen it before? Yes, we've seen this kind of film done before. A sports comedy with family dynamic. You've seen it in Mighty Ducks or Angels in the Outfield or the what was it? Remember the Titans or Miracle. All that. We've seen sports comedies and dramas, but this one does it well, and it's very funny, and it deserved to make its money. And like I said, other than Rosalind Sanchez's character, who's a nothing character, the movie works. And if you haven't seen it, see it on Disney Plus. You'll probably get some laughs, and it'll warm your heart if you're a family man, like The Rock is. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.